The Prime Minister is promising she'll raise human rights concerns in her bilateral meeting with Indonesia's President at Parliament this evening. President Widodo arrived this morning for the first state visit by an Indonesian leader in more than a decade. But critics of the Indonesian government say it is time New Zealand took a stronger stand against Indonesia's occupation of West Papua. Here's our political reporter, Benedict Collins.
New Zealand rolled out the welcome mat for the Indonesian President Joko Widodo today for his brief visit to the country. Mr Widodo and his wife received a 21-gun military salute at Government House in Wellington this morning. After laying a wreath at the Pukeahu National War Memorial Park, they returned to Government House for a state lunch with the Governor-General, the Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern and her Deputy Winston Peters and others. In a short pre-lunch address, Mr Widodo showed he had picked up a little local knowledge.
I'm very happy to visit this beautiful country with all its sheep.
Indonesia is a major export market for New Zealand meat and dairy. Mr Widodo said in turn he was delighted to see how much New Zealanders love one of Indonesia's key exports and suggested coffee diplomacy could come to define the two countries' bilateral relationship.
When I see how much New Zealand people like coffee, I immediately think Indonesia has to export more coffee to New Zealand.
The Prime Minister's bilateral meeting with Mr Widodo is currently underway, and a short time ago Ms Ardern promised that in addition to talking trade, she would also be raising human rights concerns with Mr Widodo.
They include, for instance, issues of freedom of speech and access of foreign media in the Papua region, and also the rights of LGBTIQ individuals in Indonesia and talk of a criminal code applying to them.
But the former Green MP, Catherine Delahunty, says West Papua is a weeping sore in the Pacific, and she says the new government must do more than just slap Indonesia with a wet bus ticket.
This is one of the most hidden and disgraceful political situations in the Pacific region, and we would hope that a new government would actually take a stand and talk about this honestly with the Indonesians. We can be friends, we can be trading partners, but we also have to challenge the brutal occupation of one of our neighbouring countries.
The Governor-General, Dame Patsy Reddy, spoke at length about the similarities and trade ties between New Zealand and Indonesia in her pre-state lunch speech today, but made no mention of West Papua or human rights whatsoever. From Parliament for Checkpoint, Benedict Collins.